welcome, welcome. We'll wait a few more seconds. I see there's a few others arriving. So glad to have you on our webinar today. And again, welcome. We'll get started here in just a couple seconds. Very good, very good. All right, well, welcome. This is Monty Wyatt, and I'm very excited not only for 2021, but for how each of your lives will change because of our time together today. So to make our topic real and impactful right away, I want to share a brief story of one of our newest facilitators. And I want to introduce you to Rose. Rose is an experienced executive and an experienced executive coach. After attending our 4-day training and certification class, she approached one of her current clients with the opportunity of going through our 2-day strategic thinking execution planning process. Because of their relationship, they said yes. After this 2-day retreat, the response of impact and need for assistance to implement, Rose was able to take their current relationship from $30,000 a year to $50,000 a year, and from paying monthly to paying quarterly, prepaying quarterly. With this one client, Rose immediately got her return on her investment and gained confidence of how our process works and how to implement it. So I'd like to have each of you click on the reactions button and give me a big thumbs up if you'd like your clients to not only increase their investment, but prepay quarterly. Who would like that to happen in their business? Awesome, love to see those thumbs up. Well, thank you for joining our webinar today. We are here to talk about organizational and executive development and equipping you to grow CEOs and their executive teams. So just a little bit of brief of what we're going to do. We're going to give you a taste and an overview of how you can gain greater return on investment from your current executive clients and your future prospective opportunities. And before we go any further, just wanted to remind you, this is being recorded and each of you will get a link afterwards of the recording. And if you do have comments or questions, I absolutely want you to type them into the chat box so we can have a great conversation. So again, welcome. You know, just a brief introduction of myself. For the past 25 years, I've been helping executives and coaches change their perspective to gain greater results and return in their business. As CEO of Adding Zeros, I train and certify coaches, trainers, and consultants around the world to not only increase their size of clients, but also their income from clients. So I love this quote from Peter Drucker. There are only 3 things that happen naturally in an organization: friction, confusion, and underperformance. Everything else requires leadership. Now, I want to say this very bluntly. Leadership and management are 2 different things. And I'm going to talk more about that as we go through our webinar. Both are needed more than ever today. And I'm going to say it this way: most executives don't know the difference in their actions or in their thoughts. As executive coaches, this is a huge opportunity for us right now. So just for fun, to give us a little view of who's with us today, I'd like to do a poll. If you would please select how you would describe yourself. I'll go ahead and give you a few seconds. I'd love everybody to describe themselves, if they would, and based on our question here. Give you a few more seconds. Very good. Just about wrapping up. We have some consultants, we have executive coaches, we have business coaches on the line. So love to see the group and diversity that we have on this call today. So thank you for joining us and sharing who you are. You know, we all work with clients and we're challenged with making impact and getting a return on their investment. In order to really measure results, we need to know how to define a great business. So here's what I'd love everyone to do in the chat box. Type in a word or two that you would use to define a great business. Love it. Starting to see a few come in. We've got creative, strong culture. Absolutely. Profitable. Yes, we have to be profitable, has to be sustainable. Excellent. I love seeing those. I want to share how we as adding zeros, lasting, there's another one, how we as adding zeros defines a great business. A great business is one that achieves optimal success by being sustainable, predictable, stable, consistent, and has an emotional connection. Let me describe each of those briefly for you. Sustainable meaning that it's going to outlast every one of us in the business. We are making decisions today that are here for the long term. The business that we're working on, the business that we're in, should be here longer than we are. The second word, predictable. When a business is predictable, we know when we do certain actions, we get certain results. Third word, stable. Stable is all about our people. We have high retention. We have high engagement. We want great interaction with our people. Consistent, internally and externally. Our customers and our team know what to expect from us. And lastly, emotional connection. Again, this is internally and externally, where people love who we are, they love our behaviors, and they love why we do what we do. So that is our definition of a great business. It's one that's sustainable, predictable, stable, consistent, and has an emotional connection. A great business also adds zeros. Adding zeros is much bigger than just revenue and profit. It includes all areas of our business or organization. So we want to make sure that, again, revenue, profits, but it's team engagement, are acquiring new customers, keeping our clients, keeping our employees, and being involved in the community. We add zeros in every aspect. Revenue and profit are results of all of these actions. So again, I want you to use the reaction button and give me a thumbs up on how many of you have clients or know organizations that could benefit from adding zeros in any or all of these areas. Give me a big thumbs up. Very good, very good. I love to see those thumbs up. You know, every one of us should have our thumbs up because our clients need these things. Our clients have to have these to grow their business. We have to have these to grow our business. So how do we add zeros? We add zeros through organizational discipline. There is personal discipline, which we do with executive coaching and executive development. And then there's organizational discipline. And that's a part of how we work as an organization and creating these activities and organizational development. We as Adding Zeros facilitators ensure that our clients have both personal development and organizational development. There are 5 disciplines that every organization must possess to have and experience an exponentially growth-oriented business. And that is in every aspect of their business. The 5 disciplines are strategy, business development, people, execution, and mission. I want to show you a pretty flower here. This flower is a view of how all the disciplines are connected to that definition of a great business. And most organizations are maybe doing well at 2 or 3 of these disciplines. Most coaches do well at maybe 2 or 3 of these disciplines. We help mid-market organizations, which I define as 10 million to $1 billion in revenue. We help mid-market organizations as executive development coaches, have a holistic approach and a holistic process in order to make sure that these companies scale and that they add zeros. This holistic approach will help your clients and you in every area of the organization. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through and share with you insights and components from each of the 5 disciplines. Okay, we're going to start with strategy today. Strategy, for strategy to be successful, an organization has to define 4 areas: the opportunity that they fill, the leverage that the organization possesses, how the organization is scalable, and how marketable they are. Once each of these are clearly defined, we have clarity on how we are going to win as an organization. This is our strategy. Everyone in an organization should understand how their role helps the company win. To communicate this, a one-sentence strategy needs to be created. So to explain this, I want to use the example of Southwest Airlines. I'm assuming that everybody knows, or at least has heard of Southwest Airlines. And that's a powerful thing. They may not be one of the largest airlines, but they have been one of the most successful. Their one sentence strategy is wheels up. This means that the company is successful when the planes are in the air. Every team member, from the pilot to the flight attendant to the luggage handler to those that are helping the passengers board the plane, they know what must be done in order to achieve wheels up. This defines how we will win. This one sentence strategy clearly answers that question. It's how the organization will win long term. Simplicity is power. When everyone in an organization understands not only that one sentence, but how they influence in their role achieving that one sentence strategy. So here's my first question for you. Have you, with every one of your clients, helped create great clarity of what their one sentence is? Better yet, look in the mirror. Do you have great clarity of your one sentence strategy for how you will win in your business? A great organizational strategy creates sustainability regardless of the economic climate. As an Adding Zeros facilitator, you are taught not only how to help an organization create that strategy, but how to implement it into their everyday lives. Strategy is our first discipline, and that creates sustainability. The second discipline is business development. There are 3 components within business development: marketing, sales, and customer service. Marketing attracts the customers. Sales gains new customers. Customer service helps us keep our customers. There is a tremendous amount of depth in each of these areas. None of them can be truly effective if we aren't clear on our core customer. As an Adding Zeros facilitator, we help ensure that our clients have clearly defined that core customer. We believe that a core customer should be defined or described in 25 words or less using demographics and psychographics, with psychographics being the most important. Those psychographics define the needs, the wants, the desires of who we want to be doing business with. These needs, wants, and desires help us communicate and attract the most profitable and the easiest to do business with audience. Without defining clearly who our core customer is, and without clearly defining who our core customer is and how we will serve them, it's hard to be predictable. Predictability is the result of business development. Now, I want to share an example of maximizing a core customer. I want to share another real and impactful story from one of our facilitators. This is Kevin. Kevin is an incredible business coach. Prior to getting certified with Adding Zeros, Kevin desired to have larger clients, but didn't have the tools, the process, or the language to make it happen. He had the desire and connections, but not a clear process or content that connected well with them. After training, Kevin approached a prospect with great confidence, a strong mid-market organization with many divisions. Following our process of communicating, attracting, and personalizing relationships, Kevin gained his first $200,000 per year executive development client. Now, this may not be the norm, but having a six-figure client is. Kevin is very excited about who he's targeting and has the confidence and tools to make that happen. I want to reiterate a couple of items in Kevin's story. He really wanted to get into that bigger market, but he didn't have the tools, the process, or the language. We help with that languaging to understand how to talk to the mid-market. It is much different than a small business. So we have to be clear on our process, and the content must be attractive to that mid-market as well. So just for fun, let's do this. Let's do another poll. How many six-figure clients would you like to have? Again, I'll give you a few seconds to answer. Would love to hear how many six-figure clients would you love to have? Give you a few more seconds. Wonderful. I see we've got a couple people at 13 to 15. We've got some at 5 to 7. We've got some 2 to 4. I love seeing those numbers. No matter which one of those you chose, I believe this is powerful right here. For those of you who believe you can only handle a couple six-figure clients, I want you to know that the Adding Zeros process, our training, and our tools help you to learn how to manage and handle more large and mid-market clients. It is possible for you to have a $1 million practice with many six-figure clients. Now, a big part of that is increasing our average dollar sale. Absolutely. We increase our hourly rate. We may not charge by the hour, but our value per hour absolutely increases. So I want to thank you for sharing where you would like to be with six-figure clients. Appreciate that. So our first discipline is strategy. Our second discipline is business development. Our third discipline is people. There are three components of the people discipline: leadership, talent development, and recruitment. Leadership is all about self-leadership behavior. Talent development is taking organizational ownership of growing and improving the skill sets of our team. And recruitment is critical in growing an organization because we must be attracting the right team members. I want to spend a few minutes on talent development. As I mentioned, organizations must take ownership of growing and improving the skill sets of their team. To reinforce this, I want to share a brief story about the Container Store. The average retailer trains new employees 2 to 4 hours before putting them to work. The Container Store trains new employees for no less than 200 hours before they're put on the floor. That is an amazing onboarding experience. The new employee is confident, they're knowledgeable, and their sales skills help the customer best. Now, why is this important? Well, let me say this better yet, most organizations don't train their new hires enough. And it's not just new hires, it's their employees in an ongoing basis. So the employees don't stay very long, and while they're there, they aren't selling or servicing to their best of their abilities. The Container Store has high retention, high sales per employee, and they're servicing their clients at a highest level. As an ADZEROS facilitator, we teach our clients how to create greater stability with their team with ongoing training and support for their employees. Every business out there can improve their talent development. The discipline of people creates stability. So discipline is strategy. Discipline 2 is business development. Discipline 3 is people. Discipline 4 is all about execution. The 3 components of execution are process, management, and financial controls. We lead people and manage processes. You want to write that phrase down. We lead people and we manage processes. At the beginning of the webinar, I mentioned that leadership and management are not the same, and they're both needed more than ever today. As an Adding Zeros facilitator, we clearly define both of those words. Leadership creates passion and focus. Management creates competent and productive team members. Leadership casts direction, supports the team with positivity and encouragement. Management takes ownership of their team's capabilities. Our process helps managers understand the need for good management, which includes ensuring that they know not only how to do their job, but to do it efficiently. Good management is not saying get the job done and then leaving them alone. Leadership and management are learned skills, and we teach them to follow proven practices for both, not only for our clients, but for our Adding Zeros facilitators. Great execution equals consistency internally and externally. I really want to reinforce this. Execution is about consistency in how we manage the business. We lead people, we manage processes. All right, so we've made it. We've made it to discipline 5. Discipline 5 is mission. Now, I want to start by I want to say what mission discipline is not. It is not about a mission statement. This is about who we are and why we do what we do. The 3 pieces of mission are values, purpose, and giving back. I'm going to take a few minutes and dig into core values. Core values, living our core values, create the culture of an organization. Core values and culture can be very sensitive and misunderstood most of the time. First of all, core values have to be defined and they must be behavioral. I want to share a story about one of my clients that I've had for over 4 years. They have greater than 500 employees. They've had their core values for 15 years before I started working with them. Unfortunately, those values were not written behaviorally. They were written dictatorially. Do this, do that. Values need to be taught. No one knew their values, let alone knew how they should behave. Core values drive culture. Everyone needs to learn and be taught how to live that culture. They need to be incorporated into their daily lives of every employee. Every team member is responsible for ensuring the organization is living by their values. Everyone is a culture keeper. Our role as Adding Zeros facilitators is to help ensure that our clients stay true to their values, stay true to their culture. A culture should stay the same in good and bad times, COVID or no COVID. It's the oxygen of a great business. So my challenge to you, how good of a culture keeper are you for your clients? Our tools and proven resources help you not only teach your clients to be culture keepers each and every day, but instill it into your life as well, because we have our clear core values too. When we are fully implementing the discipline of mission, we create an emotional connection for our team, our customers, and the communities that we do business with. So our 5 disciplines are strategy, business development, people, execution, and mission. Here is a graphic that really ties it all together. We add zeros when all of the disciplines are being implemented. Now, some are going to be stronger than others. Our role as an Adding Zeros facilitator is to help create organizational discipline in our clients' businesses. When this happens, they experience exponential growth and add zeros. And they gate that definition that we started the day off with: sustainable, predictable, stable, consistent, and has an emotional connection. I want to add one more component. A great business not only has that definition, but they satisfy 5 constituents. If you look at where the circles overlap, you will see 5 additional words. You have at the top, a company must an organization must satisfy the first constituent, which is company. Again, great strategy, make sure that the business outlasts us. The company should be one of the most important things, that it's going to be here long term. The next constituent is going to the left, is the customer. We have to satisfy the customer or they're going to leave and go somewhere else. We also have to satisfy the team. If we aren't satisfying the team, they're not going to serve the customer. If the team isn't satisfied, they're going to go somewhere else. The fourth constituent is the stakeholder. Now, this could be the investor, could be the owner, could be the board, could be the executive team. They have to be satisfied financially. And the fifth constituent is the community. We have to satisfy the communities that we serve and do business in. We satisfy the communities by volunteering. We satisfy the communities by engaging in activities, participating. That's who we have to satisfy. Most organizations only satisfy 1 or 2 of those. We help focus on all 5. So here's what I want you to do. Again, I want you to use that wonderful reactions button and give a thumbs up if you've learned something of value today. Give a big thumbs up if you've learned something today. I love it. Look at all those thumbs up. Thank you very much. You know, what I have shared today is a proven blueprint for success for not only your clients, your future clients, but also your coaching business that you've got. Now, before I talk about some next steps and give you an opportunity to ask more questions, I want to share a couple of testimonials to give you a taste of what you can experience. Okay. The first one is, this is a manufacturer in Iowa, and their testimonial is, through the process, they became more goal-oriented and forward-thinking. We've developed more trust in our employees and have learned to empower them. We are now in this together. The Adding Zeros process helps us develop critical thinking abilities. That's one of the biggest values of our process, is teaching critical thinking to every employee in an organization. So that is a manufacturer that I loved their relationship. The second is from one of our current facilitators. Adding Zeros has given me the language and the process to feel more comfortable in talking with larger organizations. It's helped me see that there is a difference between discipline and having discipline. And I loved how he said that, because there is a difference between personal discipline and organizational discipline. We need to have both, and we help with both as Adding Zeros facilitators. So now what? What choice will you make? You know, maybe your first option is you've enjoyed our time. Maybe you got a couple ideas, but this isn't for you. That's quite all right. We're glad you joined us. The second one, maybe you said, you know, I can do this myself. I've got some resources. This was great insight. I can position it. Maybe I'll even read the book, Pulling Profits Out of a Hat. That's the book where this content is coming from. This is a book that we launched 2 years ago, gained bestseller status in Wall Street Journal, USA Today. Great content. So maybe you're a do-it-yourself, going to read the book and take those next actions. Or finally, number 3, you're going to take true action. You're serious about attracting bigger and better clients to choose to make this year your breakout year. choose to have the results that we've shared, and move closer to that business that you've always desired. So I want to share with you the process to become part of the Adding Zeros team. The first step is today. You've joined us for our complimentary webinar just to get a taste of the 5 disciplines and the constituents that we have. Our second step is a one-day deep dive where you become a certified associate with Adding Zeros. And what we do during this time is we are going to go deep into the 5 disciplines. You're going to learn how to have some conversations in the language of that mid-market and gain confidence of approaching these mid-market prospects because of the content, your languaging, and your knowledge. You're also going to receive some white papers on the how to grow exponentially these organizations. You get approval to use our content, and again, you become a certified associate. Our next one-day class is April 14th. And normally we charge $9.95, but because you're on the webinar, it's $4.95. But if you pay by Friday, guess what? You can get a better deal. It's $1.95. So would love to see each of you register by Friday to join us on April 14th. The third step to be part of the Adding Zeros family is we have a 4-day training. The 4-day training absolutely goes very deep into our process that we call strategic thinking, execution planning. We learn how to facilitate those discussions to help them make decisions, help them be better executives. We teach you how to implement 6 different 12-week programs that you can offer to your clients. And the big value here is we have a global community of coaches all around in so many countries. We're sharing successes, we're sharing actions that are happening with these disciplines. So 4 days of interaction, we learn how to use those resources. You get certified as a facilitator, and there is an ongoing monthly growth success program to help you truly implement and become part of it. Now, couple things, and this might be after the 1 day, but there is financing available for this program, and there's scholarships available. So those scholarships, there's more information on the website, but you want to apply for those prior to the 1 day. So again, your choice. Maybe today's enough. Maybe the 1 day is where you need to go next. And then after the 1 day is becoming a certified facilitator through our 4-day training. So my goal is to help each of you have an incredible practice. This is a certification to give you the skills to grow in your clients and in yourself. So now it's time to take action. You know, if you desire to have larger clients paying you more while making massive impact on your business, now is the time to register for that next step. You'll see the link in the chat box. So please go ahead and follow that link. Go ahead and register by Friday to get the price of $195. For those of you who aren't interested in that next step, you know, I still want to say I'm grateful for having you join us today. Please stay in touch, and I want you to think about how you will make an impact with bigger and better clients. I love the challenge of, are you adding zeros or are you adding zero? We are here to help you. If you'd like to connect, please feel free to send us an email or go ahead and put your number in the chat box. Would love to connect and get to know you a little bit better. So absolutely appreciate everybody joining us today. Look forward to seeing you here in a few weeks at our 1 day associate training. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Greatly appreciate you being here, and keep up the great work. Have a fantastic 2021.